Yes,
Okay, give us 10 seconds, please.
you bet.
Okay, we are now live.
Good evening. Welcome to the Costa Mesa Planning Commission meeting for Monday, December 14th, 2020. I will call the meeting to order and ask you to please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance with me. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Ms. Green, if you could please call the voice roll call.
Chair DeArco,
Here.
Commissioner Colbert,
Here.
Commissioner Perkins,
Here.
Commissioner Russell,
Here.
Commissioner Torje,
Here.
Commissioner Zick.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Green. So tonight on our agenda, as the community all knows and our planning commission knows and staff knows, that Vice Chair Harlan has left the planning commission as he was elected District 6 council member. And so we have a vacancy for the vice chair position, and according to planning commission bylaws, we have to fill that position. So tonight on our agenda, I'm going to declare that the position of vice chair is vacant and ask the commissioners if there are any nominations for position of vice chair. If you have one, please raise your hand. Okay, I don't see raising hands, so I'm going to make a motion to appoint and nominate Commissioner Torje as vice chair of the Costa Mesa Planning Commission. Is there a second? Commissioner Zick. You're on mute, sir.
Thank you for that. So I guess I'm not surprised by that. I have great respect for Commissioner Torje, as I do all the other commissioners. That said, I think there's another commissioner that deserves to be recognized and given the opportunity to be named as vice chair, and that's Commissioner Colbert. And I nominate him. I believe he deserves a second, and if you give him that, I'll make the case why I think he also deserves your vote for confirmation.
Okay, so we have an initial motion on the floor for Commissioner Torje, and I'll ask, is there a second for that? If not, that motion will die and we'll consider Commissioner Zick's motion. Okay, seeing no second, there is a motion on the floor for Commissioner Colbert to serve as vice chair of the Costa Mesa Planning Commission. Is there a second? Please raise your hand if there's a second. Okay, I will go ahead and second that motion. And Commissioner Zick, you had comments.
I did. Of course, it's a tradition normally that these largely ceremonial positions are rotated and based on seniority. And I recognize, of course, that Commissioner Colbert has not been seated the longest, yet he's got the right stuff. He's got integrity, he's got professionalism, he's prepared, he has a disposition that recognizes the seriousness of the work, he's thorough, he's analytical, and he asks important questions, he's engaged. Above that, I believe his integrity and independence is beyond reproach. It impresses me. I think it impresses others. He doesn't play follow the leader. He is a leader. He doesn't look to see which way the wind is blowing, but rather he determines what direction he wants to go. He looks at what's best for the community based on his own values and standards. We're not aligned in politics. In fact, I don't think I'm aligned with many on the commission, but I've got the deepest respect for his character. Members on this commission have expressed concerns about systemic inequality, not just within our community, but with our own city policies and practices. No evidence yet, but there's a concern about it. No member has spoken more bravely, more outspokenly, more articulate in this regard than Commissioner Colbert. And for the other commissioners that signed on to that letter by their voice vote, now's the time to put those words into action and support Commissioner Colbert as the next vice chair.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Zick. Any other commissioner comments on the motion? Okay, I would just add, I think Commissioner Colbert will be a fine vice chair, and look forward to working with him in the coming months. So with that, Ms. Green, please call the roll call vote.
And I don't think we have any members of the public that wish to speak, but if you could please.
Very good. I will open public comment on the nomination for Commissioner Colbert. If there's any members of the commission who wish to, of the public who wish to speak, please raise your hand. And I don't see any. And Ms. Green, you have no other comments?
No, I don't. So we'll do
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Zick,
Aye.
Commissioner Torje,
Aye.
Commissioner Russell,
Aye.
Commissioner Perkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Colbert,
Aye.
Commissioner Chair DeErico.
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0.
Great. Thank you very much. Vice Chair Colbert, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you'd like to say anything, please, sir. The floor is yours.
This is a surprise, honestly. Yeah, I'm moved. Obviously, I didn't expect this. I just love serving. So if this is the request of the body, then I'm moved deeply. I will uphold the duties of the vice chair and continue to do what it is that needs to be done to represent the citizens of Costa Mesa. It's a major responsibility, but something that, yeah, thank you for entrusting this. I don't take it lightly at all. So thank you, Commissioner Zick, for making the motion. Commissioner Torje, I would have equally supported any type of leadership and anyone. I feel like we're all equally capable of doing this job. So it's just a title, but I'm excited and deeply moved. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Good. Congratulations again, sir. Okay, that brings us to announcements and presentations. In order to minimize the spread of the COVID-19 virus, Governor Newsom has issued executive orders allowing executive orders that temporarily suspend requirements of the Brown Act, which allows Planning Commission members to attend Planning Commission meetings telephonically. Given the health risks associated with the COVID-19, the City Council chambers will be closed to the public until further notice. If you'd like to participate in the meeting this evening, you can participate via the following options. You are strongly encouraged to observe the Planning Commission meetings live and on Costa Mesa TV, Spectrum Channel 3, and ATT Universe Channel 99, and online at youtube.com/Costa Mesa TV. You can also participate via Zoom by following the instructions on tonight's agenda, which you can find online at the city's website. During the public comment portion of the meeting, if you are participating via Zoom webinar, use the raised hand function located in the participants window and wait for city staff to announce your name and unmute your line when it is your turn to speak. Comments are limited to 3 minutes or as otherwise directed. You can also participate in tonight's meeting via telephone by dialing 1-669-900-6833. The webinar ID is 960-6037-9921, and the passcode is 595958. During the public comment period, if you are participating by telephone, press *9 to add yourself to the queue and wait for city staff to announce your name, phone number, and then press *6 to unmute your line when it is your turn to speak. Comments are limited to 3 minutes or as otherwise directed. And so that completes our announcements tonight. We do have a special presentation. Our senior planner in the city of Costa Mesa, Mel Lee, will be retiring soon. And so we wanted to recognize his service tonight to the community of Costa Mesa, 21 years of dedicated service. And so I will turn the presentation over to Ms. Lee.
Thank you, Chair, Planning Commissioners. It's my sad duty tonight and also my honor to recognize Senior Planner Mel Lee, who will be retiring from the city of Costa Mesa on December 17th after 21 years of dedicated service and over 32 years of dedicated service to local government in general. So we're very proud of Mel. If you'll give me a moment, I'll share my screen. Okay, so while I'm doing my remarks this evening, I'm going to run through a quick slideshow that includes some pictures from Mel's tenure with us in Costa Mesa. I hope they will be equally as happy as they are embarrassing, which is what we intend. Mel first joined the city of Costa Mesa in October of 1985 as an intern. Mel graduated from Cal Poly Pomona in 1988 with a Bachelor of Science degree in urban planning. Mel also passed the rigorous test to become a member of the American Institute of Certified Planners, a branch of the American Planning Association, in 1998. After working at the cities of Commerce and Garden Grove, Mel returned to his Costa Mesa family in 1999 as an associate planner and was promoted to senior planner in November 2004. Mel also received the City Manager's Leadership Award in May of 2019. On a personal note, Mel is respected as a leader on the planning team, and he's really admired throughout the city for his wealth of experience, his commitment to teamwork, high quality customer service, and his quiet confidence and professionalism. While in Costa Mesa, Mel has managed a variety of complex planning and development projects, including most recently Vanguard University, the plant in Sabeca, the Triangle, the Press, the New Ganal lumber site, the new Audi dealership on Bristol, and oversight of several cannabis manufacturing and distribution uses under Measure X, just to name a few. One of the things that I think we all love about Mel is that he's always willing to pitch in and help any of his colleagues. There is really nothing better than listening to Mel give a staff report at the Planning Commission meetings in his smooth and reassuring tone that only he can pull off. We really love Mel as a colleague and as a friend. We get a kick out of Mel in a variety of ways, but one of the ways is his love for Disneyland that some of you might know. He has an annual pass that he gets every year and always shares his pictures with Minnie and Mickey Mouse. He loves fast cars, and more specifically Mustangs, and he always shares with us his love of jazz as well. Mel is an all-around great guy, and he's been our friend and our colleague for 21 years in Costa Mesa, and we are really going to miss him. So in addition to my remarks, I'm going to read a brief proclamation, which Mel, we will provide to you along with a gift from us and our thanks. A proclamation of the Planning Commission of the City of Costa Mesa recognizing Mel Lee for 21 years of service to the city. The Planning Commission of the City of Costa Mesa hereby proclaims, whereas Mr. Lee began his employment with the City of Costa Mesa as an intern from October 1985 to January 1987, and whereas Mr. Lee graduated from Cal Poly Pomona in 1988 with a bachelor's degree in urban planning, Mel also passed the rigorous test to become a member of AICP in 1998. Whereas Mr. Lee returned to Costa Mesa in 1999 as an associate planner and was promoted to senior planner in November 2004. Whereas Mr. Lee has managed a variety of complex projects during his tenure in Costa Mesa. Whereas the Planning Commission recognizes the value of the contributions Mel has made to the city. Now therefore be it resolved that the Planning Commission of the City of Costa Mesa hereby recognizes Mel Lee for over 21 years of dedicated service to the City of Costa Mesa and over 32 years of dedicated service to local government. Thank you for your service, Mel. We wish you the best in your retirement, and you will be missed.
Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations, Mr. Lee, on your retirement. And before I open the floor to commissioners to offer their perspectives on your service, would you like to say anything, sir?
I'll keep it the 3 minutes. So basically, thank you, Jennifer, for that slideshow. I'm not sure where you got some of those pictures from, but that was interesting. And also, I wanted to congratulate former Vice Chair Harlan for being appointed to the Costa Mesa City Council. And congratulations to the new Vice Chair, Colbert. And of course, it's kind of difficult to put into words, but it really has been a pleasure working with all of you. A few months ago, you may recall, I was sitting in on the public hearing for the Target project, which was very surreal because that was one of the first projects I presented to the Planning Commission over 21 years ago. So it's just how things come full circle. It's very, very interesting. So once again, thank you. And hopefully when COVID is all over, we can get together and get back into the chambers and be face to face.
That's a promise. That's a promise. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Commissioner Perkins, you want to offer anything?
I thoroughly enjoyed working with you in this year and a half or so that I've been on the commission, and really appreciate the professionalism and the quality and approach to detail that you've had. It's been just fantastic, and I wish you the absolute best in whatever adventures come your way.
Commissioner Zick, anything to offer?
Mel, congratulations. I've told you numerous times during our meetings how much I respect and enjoy when you're making presentations. My only regret, of course, is that I didn't get to work with you more of those 21 years. I do remember your comment when the Target Center was in front of us, and it made me realize just what kind of institutional knowledge you carry, and hopefully staff will be able to continue to utilize you as a resource down the road. So well-deserved retirement, and congratulations. I sincerely mean it.
Thank you, Commissioner Zick. Commissioner Torje.
Yeah, I'll just reiterate what other commissioners have said. It's always a pleasure to have you presenting to Planning Commission. The thoughtfulness, the institutional knowledge that you have, and just seeing your career tonight was really great to see, and just to witness your commitment to the city that we all love and call home. So thank you so much for your time, and congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you. Commissioner Russell?
I just want to congratulate you on your retirement. I really appreciated working with you. Your presentations are always very clear and concise, and it's always helpful. I wish you good luck and in your retirement. And once again, we will meet at some time in the future, I hope.
Very good. Vice Chair Colbert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Lee, congratulations. It's been a pleasure to work with you, and I love, like everyone else has said, to hear your reports because you add a sense of narrative to them. And I guess that is because of your knowledge of the history of so many projects, but it's just been cool. Sometimes I'm thinking of a question that I want to ask you, but I'm kind of timid about thinking how you may respond or if it's an appropriate question to ask. And so he's probably not going to think that makes sense, but it's just been a pleasure to work with you for this period. I wish you the best. I hope you enjoy whatever time you have off and live life to the fullest, and whatever plans you have to just really live it up. And unfortunately it's COVID, but hopefully you take the best of vacation the first time flights are allowed to go overseas or such. So best wishes.
Thank you, Vice Chair. So Mel, I think maybe I've known you the longest of the members of the commission that are here tonight and speaking about your illustrious career. I think I told you offline, I met you probably back in 2001, right when you were joining, I think, full time, when I was just came on as a columnist with the Daily Pilot, and I started covering city council meetings on a regular basis. I mean, I was dumb enough to sit in those chambers week after week, and I always remember watching you operate in on land use decisions that often were complicated, and certainly at the city council level can be political and often are. And I was always moved by how unflappable you were, how you had every detail nailed down, that there wasn't a question you couldn't answer, rarely, and that you managed, and your professionalism, you managed to, I operate in so many cities, and I've seen staff members when their commissions or their city councils go off on a tangent, and the senior planner assigned to the project is just losing it because they've put so much work into working with the applicant, developing a staff report, applying your professional skills to the recommendation that you're bringing forward, and planning commissioner will go off on some weird tangent. But I never, and I'm sure that happened in your career in Costa Mesa, but I never ever saw that get to you. And you were always managed to stay focused on your work, focused on the details within the staff reports you were prepared, and focused on defending most oftentimes the recommendations you were bringing forward. And for that, I have the utmost admiration and respect for you. I hope that after you have a little time off, you kind of stay in the game and consult somewhere, hopefully consult with the city if we need to fill in, because you're just top shelf. And I think about the people that when I came in and started observing the city, that I saw Peter Nagavi in one of the photos, and certainly your boss at the time, Don Lamb, and you worked with Willa all the years, and Alan Roeder and Claire. You were just part of a great team, and often the leader of that team. And I just want to offer you my congratulations and my sincere thanks for the great work that you've done for the city of Costa Mesa. And with that,
thank you.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Thank you. So with that, that moves us to public comment. Yes, Ms. Green.
I believe we might have some attendees that may wish to make some comments also.
Okay, please have them proceed.
If you would like to speak on the retirement of Mr. Lee, could you please raise your hand? Oh, I guess they don't want to speak. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Oh, that looks like a familiar name.
Good evening, commissioners. It's a pleasure to talk to you all, especially on this evening. I've had the pleasure of working with Mel for over 12 years, and he's always been a great team player. He always picks up whenever we need help. He has this tremendous knowledge in zoning, and we can always rely on him for a very thorough response whenever we have a question. It's been such a pleasure working with him, and I really will miss having him in the office. Thank you.
Thank you, Manu. Ms. Green, anyone else?
I think that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. This brings us to the public comments portion of our agenda. Public comments will be heard at this time on items that are not listed on tonight's agenda, but are within the jurisdiction of the Planning Commission. I will open public comment, and if you would like to speak, please use the raise hand option at the bottom of the screen. And if you are joining the meeting on your phone and would like to speak, please press *9. Ms. Green, do we have any members of the public that wish to speak during public comment?
Mr. Chair, we do not.
Okay. I will now close public comment, and that will bring us to Planning Commissioner comments. And we'll begin this evening with Commissioner Russell.
It's always good to see everybody. I just want to wish the greater community a happy holiday. Be safe. The vaccines went out today. We still have probably 6 months before everyone gets their shots. So wear your mask, wash your hands, keep social distance. We're getting close, but we still have a long way to go. So happy holidays, everybody.
Thank you, Commissioner Russell. Commissioner Torje.
Yeah, I don't have any prepared comments tonight, but I was thinking about going into the holiday season and what it's like to be on video with all of you for the last and all of the public over the last 9-10 months. And I just want to thank staff, and I just want to thank the public and other commissioners for being so faithful and so dedicated to meeting the needs of our city in this hard time. And I know, we all are experiencing this in a different way and experiencing it together. And so I just want to thanks folks for doing such a great job in having these be virtual meetings. It's tough and it's exhausting at times, and it's hard to not be in person, but I appreciate folks taking care of the safety of our community. And I'd also like to note that I have a list of restaurants in Costa Mesa that I am so excited to be ordering takeout from. And so I would just recommend that folks shop local, shop in your community. There's a map I have in my house of West Side shops and West Side restaurants that have been there for a long time or are new that we want to stay open. And so do everything you can to shop local and remember your community. Thanks, that's it.
Thank you, Commissioner Torje. Commissioner Zick.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've got a couple of remarks I'd like to share. First of all, I echo the sentiments from Commissioner Torje. I agree with everything she said. I won't restate it. Today was an important day and a really good day for America. For anyone who was watching the news today, you saw the start of the distribution and the administering of the COVID vaccines. And with that, our journey begins out of the bleakness of the pandemic of 2020. And for that, we have a lot of reason to be both thankful and optimistic for the future. Also today, the Electoral College performed its normal and its constitutionally prescribed function, furthering the demonstration that our democratic processes function as designed. And regardless of which side you supported, knowing that should give great comfort to those who value this republic. And lastly, a bipartisan and bicameral group of US senators and US representatives came together, reached an agreement on an emergency COVID relief bill. And while that's big news, the bigger news is that the effort should give everyone hope that statesmanship and compromise are alive and well. And the demonizing those of the opposite party is a practice that neither builds nor achieves results for progress or problem solving. And that's what Americans expect out of our elected officials. That's what they need. We're one team, we're one community, we're one nation. Let's not forget that. Lastly, I'd like to wish everyone a happy, healthy, and Merry Christmas. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Zick. Vice Chair Colbert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just want to echo all the comments that have been stated tonight, and just a reflection in preparation for this meeting. I was reading through the minutes, and I was just thinking, wow, we've had a really difficult year. We've taken on a number of tough challenges in terms of planning applications in the middle of this pandemic, not, understanding how our city governance would work, our federal or state governance would work, and just a series of uprisings throughout the country, and just dealing with our own personal issues, and somehow we're still here. So thank God for that, for starters. But these minutes were really just a reminder of just the amount of things that we have experienced just in this short period. So much can happen. But I want to say that I'm glad to have endured it with you all. As many of you all know, I don't have a lot of family here in California. I moved here because of work. So I consider the commission my family. And it's become, I guess, a bit of a tradition. Julie, thank you so much for your card. Turn up. It means a lot, because it means, first off, somebody's thinking about you, but you just don't know how these little things mean so much to people. So I look forward to you and Michaela's Christmas card every year, and it's sitting here on my fridge, and I still have the one from last year as well. So thank you so much for that. It's been great to get to know each and every one of you all very personally. And better, even if we agree or not, I don't care. But just happy holidays, happy New Year. And as I said before, continue to practice gratitude. I think that's my little message for 2020. It's what's gotten me through. Just gratitude. And so I'm grateful for each and every one of you. And I hope that you all have great holidays. And to the city of Costa Mesa, thank you for the honor to continue to serve you. It's been great to do so, and I wouldn't want to do it in any other community. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Great comments. I appreciate that. So it's been quite a year. This is the last Costa Mesa Planning Commission meeting for 2020. When we began the year, everything was normal. We're meeting in chambers. We were doing our business, and then March rolled around, and we really got derailed by this pandemic, which I think people really didn't have a fully understanding of how bad it was going to get. There were some warnings, but I think for a large extent, a lot of those warnings weren't really heeded, and still aren't being heeded. And so this has been the most unusual year for me professionally as a public servant, and even as a family man in my 60 some odd years of life. But having said that, I have been quite struck at the city staff, the city council, you commissioners, who I appreciate each and every one of you. I mean, if you want a picture of what or who Costa Mesa is, you just take a screen grab of all these faces and you have Costa Mesa in a nutshell. We are a very diverse community, all sorts of different viewpoints. We often disagree, we often agree, but we manage to move this city forward without killing each other, which I've always thought is a real virtue for this town. There's other communities where you can't say that. They'll do knockout dragouts and just absolutely kill themselves and not do their city right. by demonstrating incivility or anger or just disparaging one another because they can't agree. So I want to let you know that I'll appreciate all of you very much, your willingness to serve, which isn't always easy. And staff, Jennifer and Brenda and Julie and Bart and all the planning staff, Tarquin, Mel, Willa, Manu, Caitlin, I'm going to forget somebody, Willie, all you guys are just terrific, terrific people, true professionals, trying to do the best you can in very hard circumstances. And I think we've made it through the year. It's not been pretty, but we've made it. And we'll come out the other end better. And you're right, thank God for this vaccine. And hopefully they can get it produced and we all step up to take it, and we'll be out of this thing within 6 months, hopefully. But we're not there yet. And so as we gather for the holidays, I think we're seeing some of the ramifications of people deciding that they needed to see their families on Thanksgiving or needed to be in large groups. And the report out today is that Orange County has 0 ICU beds available, 0, which tells me the pandemic is raging full force in Orange County. And that the best way for us to get to vaccine is to make sure that we do the things we're supposed to do, wear the mask, social distance, wash your hands, and try not to gather in groups. Or if you do it outdoors in your backyard and stay 6 feet apart. I'm a conservative by nature. I'm not affiliated with any party, but that seems to me, rather than being an infringement upon my freedom, is probably a pretty smart choice just to keep everybody safe. So I would encourage everybody to do that through the holidays so that we can get back to normal as quickly as possible. So with that, I also want to just wish everybody a happy holiday. Enjoy the time with your family, whether you're doing it this way or you're gonna gather outdoors 6 feet apart and doing all the right things, but just take care of one another and be kind to one another. I think as Vice Chair Colbert said, practice gratitude and practice kindness is those are the things I think we want to keep in mind for the holidays. So with that, we'll move to the consent calendar.
Sure.
All matters.
Mr. Chairman, I think
yes, Vice Chair Colbert.
I think Commissioner Perkins.
Did I miss you, Commissioner Perkins? I'm sorry, sir. I apologize. Go ahead. Thank you, Vice Chair.
No worries, not at all. I just wanted to wish everybody, happy holidays and echo the comments of my fellow commissioners regarding COVID, something many of you know I've talked many times about. One thing I did want to talk a little bit about was that a week ago on Sunday, Noel Bascon, a 12-year-old boy who was riding his bike behind his dad in a crosswalk adjacent to T-Winkle Park, died, killed by a driver who did not stop at the stop sign. The driver was driving a large pickup truck and was allegedly driving under the influence. Shortly after this tragedy, I posted online that our roads are dangerous by design and that relatively simple design and policy changes could reduce the chances of tragedies like this occurring. This started the discussion online and resulted in a call from the city attorney today. So I wanted to explain what I meant and talk about this idea a little bit. I wanted to maintain, and I maintain that especially when taking an international perspective, our streets are not as safe as they could be. And there are things we could do right now to make them safer. I understand that our roads have been designed to meet the standards set by American engineering societies and federal, state, county, and other government agencies that were in place at the time the road was designed and constructed. But when we look worldwide, we can see that our American road safety standards and design principles do not go nearly far enough to protect people on our roadways. As just a few examples, the Netherlands, Norway, Finland, Ireland, and Spain all have per capita roadway deaths literally less than a third those of the United States. To say this another way, Americans are more than threefold more likely to die on a roadway than residents of those 5 countries. How do other countries make their roads safer? The answer is multifaceted, but a large part of it is that they design roads with safety as a top priority, not speed or volume. If you're interested in learning more, suggest looking at things like the National Association of City Transportation Officials guides, reading up on things like curb extensions, speed tables, raised crosswalks, effective lane width on speeding, the impact of design speed on road and user safety. There's many factors that can go into this. But America seems to have a fatalism about roadway lethality, just accepting it as a necessary trade-off for convenient travel. Yet we don't have this same fatalism with air travel. We don't have it with power generation. We don't have to have it with roadways. We could design our roads so that it's far less likely that anyone dies, even if a drunk driver is driving along and a kid runs out from their yard chasing a ball. This is a vision that I sincerely hope that we can adopt. It's called Vision Zero. 70 people have died on Costa Mesa streets over the last 10 years, and more than 10,000 people have been hurt on them in that same time frame. Vision Zero says that this is not acceptable and that we can do better. Other cities and other countries have done this. Oslo, Norway, a city of 670,000 people, had 41 traffic deaths in 1975. They were similar to us in many ways. After many years of work, last year, they had no cyclist fatalities, no pedestrian fatalities, and only one driver fatality when that driver drove into a fence. Vision Zero is possible. Our roads can be safer. Policy decisions matter on this. Many of these policy decisions are outside the realm of this commission, and thus I strongly encourage everyone to advocate for change at many levels of government. But some policy decisions seem potentially within the realm of the Planning Commission and its role as an advisory body to the City Council. For example, could we recommend the city consider adopting Vision Zero? Could we recommend the city change its general plan so that it is explicit that the safety of all road users is the primary design and evaluation principle for all of our roadways, with motor vehicle convenience metrics like level of service playing solely a secondary or tertiary role? Could we recommend elimination of parking minimums and possible creation of parking maxima at bars and other establishments that serve hard alcohol? Do we really want to encourage people to drive to bars? While emotions are high right now, if my fellow commissioners are amenable, I would be very interested in having some of these discussions here at the Planning Commission so we could figure out what we could do right now as a city to make our streets safer. What we could do to reduce the likelihood that another family has to go through this nightmare. Thank you, Chair, and have a very happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you, Commissioner Perkins, for those comments, and I agree. The tragic death of young Noel Baskin was terrible, and knowing that intersection particularly well, I agree that there are some minimal steps we can take to at least increase visibility of that crosswalk, whether or not it's a hot crosswalk or there's in crosswalk lighting, whatever it is. But I agree with you. That was a tragedy, and I'll be happy to discuss with you other ideas you may have relative to the overall safety of Costa Mesa's roadway as we enter the new year. So thank you very much for those. And my apologies that I overlooked you on the agenda. That was not intentional. Okay, thank you, commissioners. That takes us to the consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered to be routine and will be acted upon in one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless members of the Planning Commission staff or the public request specific items to be discussed and or removed from the consent calendar for discussion. Items removed from the consent calendar will be discussed and voted upon immediately following Planning Commission action on the remainder of the consent calendar. Ms. Green, do we have any members of the public wish to discuss a consent calendar item tonight?
If you would like to speak on the consent calendar, please raise your hand. Mr. Chair, we have none.
Okay, commissioners, are there any comments on any of the consent calendar items as they're all minutes from past meetings or additions, modifications to any of them? Please raise your hand. Okay, seeing none, is there a motion to approve the consent calendar? raise your hand, please. Commissioner Russell and then Commissioner Perkins.
I will move the item.
Okay, and Commissioner Perkins, were you seconding?
I will be happy to second that motion.
Okay, thank you very much. Ms. Green, please call the roll.
Commissioner Perkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Russell,
Aye.
Commissioner Torje,
Aye.
Commissioner Zick,
Aye.
Vice Chair Colbert,
Aye.
Chair DeErico.
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you very much, commissioners. Thank you, Ms. Green. So tonight we have no public hearings, so we'll move to departmental reports, and we'll begin with public service report. Mr. Mejia, happy holidays, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I would like to start by wishing everybody happy and healthy holidays. I have a brief update on some of the projects that we are working on. The first one is the City of Costa Mesa first permanent shelter. Work continues, and we are on target to open it sometime in March or April of next year. We also continue the construction of the Lions Park Playground project, also known as Airplane Park. Work is progressing without delay as well, and we're targeting that project to also open in early summer. That's all the updates that I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Stay healthy. Ms. Lee, a development services report tonight.
Thank you, Chair. I'd just like to give a brief update on our housing element update. This is a topic that I will be updating the commission on at every meeting. Obviously, this is a very important effort for this commission, the council, and the city as a whole. As you know, we kicked off our general plan housing element update in November with a community town hall meeting. It was very well attended. We had close to 100 community members attend between our English and Spanish sessions. During that presentation, we did discuss with the community that we would have a community survey available online to get general feedback in terms of just basic preferences about housing to start off. In January, we'll be launching a series of additional community outreach meetings, as well as some of our more focused group meetings and stakeholders meetings as well. So we have that to look forward to in January, February, and March of next year. I did want to just reiterate that we have much of our housing element information posted on the city's website, including our housing survey. And that survey is available in both English and Spanish. So I really encourage our community members to go to the website and provide your feedback on the survey. It's just an initial step. And of course, we'll have many more opportunities over the next several months for community feedback, including additional surveys. So we really want to hear back from the community on these first questions, and we look forward to our additional outreach. That website is www.costamesaca.gov/housing-element-update. Please visit our website and fill out the survey if you can, and encourage your neighbors to do so as well. That's my update for this evening. I'd just like to thank the commission for their professionalism and commitment during what has been a very tough year. I really look forward to working with you all again in 2021, where we no doubt have many more big things to accomplish. So thank you so much. I wish you all a very happy holiday.
Thank you, Ms. Lee, and you and your family also stay well for the holidays, please. And Mr. Preziosi, City Attorney report.
Thank you, Chair DeErico. I have no specific report tonight. I want to thank the commission. I wanted to congratulate Vice Chair Colbert for his ascendance to vice chairship. And I specifically wanted to thank Mel Lee for his over 20 years of service to the department, to the city. I found his reports insightful. I am always able to rely on what he puts in his reports, and he's contributed to making this department a better department. I want to thank you all and wish you happy holidays.
Thank you, Mr. Preziosi. And as you know, there's a new legislative session that's begun in Sacramento. I would just ask to keep your eye on all the housing legislation that's supposed to be coming down the pike in the next few months. It's very important for me to understand what's going on there. I think it'd be instructive to the Planning Commission as well. And I would just add, Brenda and Julie, thank you so much for your work throughout the year and working in difficult circumstances. I wish both of you all the best for the holiday season, and thank you for your service to the community, and then also to the members of Costa Mesa TV who broadcast these Zoom webinars. With that, we will stand adjourned to the regularly scheduled meeting of January 11th, 2021. Everyone have a great holiday, and we'll see you next year.